Hi Capricorn, this is Tarot-blee Accurate. Thank you for tuning in. Recently, it's become pretty apparent to me that some of you need a reading like this, even though it's not something we usually do, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Love readings are coming up next, and then thank you so much for your input and all of your support, as always. But you voted to have Stop, Drop, and Rolls come out as the next little bonus reading between our generals and our love. So I will get to those right after the love readings. Those are all coming for you. It's just that right now, a lot of you need this as there's a lot of changes going on, like on a universal level for a lot of people. And we're having a hard time coping with those because we have different blockages at different areas of our life, and that's why we're doing what's called the Maslow's Pyramid Hierarchy of Needs spread. So for those of you unfamiliar with Abraham Maslow, he's a psychologist that has this idea that, there's this pyramid, and our physiological needs are on the bottom, like our needs for air, for food, water, a place to sleep. And until those needs are addressed and met, we can't certainly worry about helping other people, about what they think about us, about commanding respect and having confidence, right? So we're going to work through each of these needs here as we go through the reading. And so everybody might come into this pyramid on a different level, okay? But regardless of where you come in, and people are going to move up and down the pyramid, it's never a bad idea to sort of reinforce the pillars, right? So that we can get to the top, to our best self, if that makes sense. So before we start with that, we have this one coming out as a challenge, and that's the Page of Cups. So that's expressing how you feel. Expressing your emotions. So some of you are having a challenge with that, and hopefully this will help. Now, for those of you who are new, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you come back. For those of you who have been here before, thank you for your continued support, for all your likes, your shares, your comments, for subscribing to my videos. You're the reason why I do these, and also the reason why ultimately I know that there's a need that needs to be addressed, and why we're doing this reading instead of the loved ones right away. So, sorry, I might run out of breath. I've been ill for like a week now. I'm feeling much better, but I still can't quite catch my breath, so I might have to take a few pauses, and I apologize for that in advance. Okay, so what do we have going on here on your physiological level? So how can we meet our needs for oxygen, food, water, shelter, health? Health is kind of 1 and 2, first and second level, or how can we even reinforce these and, make them stronger, have our pyramid be stronger? And it's saying, look at what works in the past. Go backwards and think back to a time in your life when things were really, really great, and then do those things. Think about your past. Because for some of you, what you're doing right now isn't working. So if you used to be really fit and really healthy, whatever you were doing back then, pick up some of those habits again. We have the Ace of Cups. Now, here's the deal, guys. Some of you are emoting in a positive way, and some of you are emoting in a negative way. And I think this is why our reading started out with that Page of Cups, being able to share our emotions. We have to do that. We have to get it off of our chest so that we can clear out space to just move forward, right? And it's saying, look at your past, and maybe that's why you're not moving forward, because you're not looking at it because it's painful. But certain elements of it are not painful, right? Anyway, point is once we can kind of share our emotions, we can focus more on other things. So maybe you're stressed out and you're not getting enough sleep, or your eating habits are poor because you're so emotional, okay? Try to just say what you have to say so you can move on, and then reinforce this bottom level of physiological needs. Then moving on from physiological needs, we go to safety. Now this is just generally being safe, not being slashed up by an axe murderer or anything like that. But it's also feeling safe to, sorry about those interruptions, it's also feeling safe to share how you feel, like we were just talking about. It's your day-to-day life, it's your employment, it's where you live, it's having enough money, it's having a family, things like that. Now these two are coming out, and it's saying finding that emotional balance. That's what's going to help you there, okay? And then the Magician. So this is the card of Law of Attraction, essentially. It's saying that you have, you are the magician of your own life. Whatever it is that you're focusing on, whatever it is that you're thinking about, you're drawing more of that into your life. So if you are thinking that somebody's out to get you, somebody's going to hurt you, you're going to be unhappy, you are creating your own feelings of unsafety. Unsafety, that's not a word. Is it? I don't know. Anyway, you're not creating a safe environment for yourself. Does that make sense? So if you use affirmations like, I will be okay, I will get through this, I will find a job, I will have enough money to provide for myself and my family, I will blah, 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 you'll create that, okay? But if you're like, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I have enough money, I think I might lose my job, something like that, then that will be the reality of things, and that will create that unsafe environment for yourself, okay? So moving on from the level of safety, then we go to love and belonging, okay? Now with this area, what is it we can do to kind of master this level of the hierarchy of needs or reinforce it? We have the Star card in reverse, which doesn't make loads of sense. Oh, and then the Two of Wands and the Lovers. Okay. So what's going on here is in this section, in love and belonging, this is about your friendships, this is about your family, this is about sexual intimacy. It's saying that for some of you, things just seem a little bit hopeless, right? And so then now you're at this place, a fork in the road, where you have to decide, am I going to cut somebody free? Or am I going to go on my own? Or it doesn't even have to be about relationships. It could be any situation. But point is, that's where you are, okay? So it's saying to focus on like intimacy, on deep relationships. And this could be physical intimacy. It could be more than that, though. I think this is about love. Because do you see the water there? And this whole reading for you has been about emotions and things like that. So this is saying, you know, emotional intimacy. And that whole thing, how we started this reading with the cups, with the Page of Cups, saying, share your emotional feelings with somebody else. This could be a family member. This could be with a friend. But for a lot of you, this is actually with a lover. If you're not sharing how you're feeling, Capricorn, you're not going to get here. You're not going to have like the deep emotional relationships and bonds that you want to. Okay, you're not going to feel loved if you can't communicate your feelings, and you're not going to like feel accepted and understood until you can do that. People can't read your mind. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. Now, moving on to esteem, which is more about love. You know, it's about self-love. It's about having confidence. It's about respecting yourself, having others respect you, respecting others, all of that stuff. It's about achieving things. How do we get there, and how do we reinforce this pillar if we're already there? Realize that it doesn't really matter what other people think about you. And then when things do go wrong, like if other people don't understand, focus on the positives. Like focus on, even when things are missing from your life that you wanted to have, focus on the things that are still good and be thankful for those. And all the shit that happens in your life, be like, you know what, I learned from that, and that is a blessing because I won't make that same mistake again. Or I won't put myself in that position again. And it's funny, as I'm saying that this is the card that comes out, which is the Three of Swords in reverse. You know, this way it's about disappointment and heartbreak and things just didn't go your way. But this way, it's like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen if you're focused on these cups that still exist, on the lessons that you learned, on, and this is like on a deep emotional level. You guys have some feelings this month. Okay. And it's saying don't work too hard. Don't throw yourself into work as a way to avoid things. Okay? Because people are going to respect you more if you are able to communicate. Okay, if you're able to communicate how you're feeling and things like that. Ultimately, it's a challenge for you to be happy without the respect and esteem of other people, to feel good about yourself, to really feel all sunshine and rainbows, but that's not going to happen, like I said, until we're communicating our emotions on a very emotional level. Okay. So moving on then from esteem, we're going to self-actualization. Now this is the top of the pyramid. This is where, you know, you're happy and like things just don't bother you, you know, like you don't pass judgment on other people, like you're open to accepting things, accepting other people, like, excuse me, you're more creative, spontaneous, just like your best version of you. How do we get there, or how do we reinforce this? How do we stay there? The Page of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Swords, the Justice in reverse, and Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so what this is saying is you don't have to make tremendous effort, like, to make other people feel happy. Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do things to make other people happy, but you definitely, when you're at this point, okay, you don't have to say shit, like, to appease people. Like, you don't have to, because you've already gained their respect, right? You don't have to go out of your way to be a people pleaser. You do, when you're here, need to speak your truth, okay? Think about things and communicate those. But this is on a more logical level because you've already worked through all that emotional-ish. Like now things are just easier. Although sometimes things are unfair, at the end of the day, once you're here, your luck changes for the better. This is the Wheel of Fortune saying good luck, blessings, things are coming to you. So this is definitely something to focus on, just like knowing that things are going to go the right way because you've done the work and now you're there. So if you would like some assistance in working on your emotional-ish, figuring out how to say things to people and clear out all that stuff, my contact information is in the description box below, but otherwise I'll see you soon, Capricorns, for the love readings, and then soon to follow after the Stop, Drop, and Rolls. Bye!